Alrighty, and we are back. We are here with the WBG, which stands for Western Australian Bankers Guild. Their charm division with their low tier draft. My name is Keith, and with me is my friend Electric, or Mancini the Amazing. Now I'm just gonna
welcome everybody to yet another video with the Western Australian Bankers Guild. Today we'll be looking at one of our new startups in the Charm division, which I believe is just southeast of Perth. So the Single Horn Express is this intriguing startup that is focused on looking out for the little guy and making sure that people mining minerals and not just metals are really being invested in. They have a very diverse portfolio with all different sorts of clientele arranged, from French people to Japanese Australians, and really from all around the subcontinent as well. Today, we're very excited to bring you into the Single Horn Express. Nerd. I just did like a fucking commercial pitch. How's that nerd?
Nerd. It's okay. We're cool. So, this is...
Speaking of cool.
Pokemon.
Speaking of cool.
So this is the second time I've tried to record this, by the way, because the first time my computer was like, yeah, you're going to hit the record button, I'm just going to stop after 40 seconds. So that was fun. But
it was very entertaining 40 seconds.
Yeah, it was a top tier 40 seconds. Unfortunately, we have to do a little bit longer than that. So yeah, this is for WBG Charm, which is their sort of side div, and it's for low tier because I've never done a low tier VGC draft before, and wanted to give one a go because I thought it would be fun, and I'm in a bit of a low tier mood because I'm a low tier person myself.
Apparently.
Yeah, we've got the Single Horn Express, which is
the Single Horn Express, catering to all your Western Australian banking guild needs.
It's a very esoteric. Esoteric, is that the right word?
Yeah.
Very niche sort of joke where it was based on a season I did in Trick House, where I just kept running Jolly Max Speed Mega Heracross, just to outspeed like base 79 and 80 speed Pokemon that just didn't want to speed creep for Jolly Max Speed Heracross, and it won me games both times. It was quite cool.
The one thing I just want to mention, you did use the term esoteric correctly. You did not use the term niche correctly.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever. You get like 50%. That's a pass mark. That's a pass mark in university.
No, that's a conceded pass. That's a different thing.
That's a pass mark in university. Now then speaking of university and genius level Pokemon, my first pick, I picked
was the
Garganacl.
Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, Alex Turner.
This was the just
Monkeys.
for context. All of the things I said were just hints to the first four Pokemon you drafted because I couldn't remember the rest of them. So this is our local mining endeavor just southeast of Perth. It's only a 4-hour drive, so quite nearby. I can sure you'd agree. Here we have, represented by Alex Turner, who is a very bold and powerful musician at the small local salt mine that we have decided to set up in the interior of Western Australia, just nearby to one of our banking guild locations in Charm.
Yeah, Garganacl was for some reason free when it got to me. It was some reason in this div, so I took it because it's pretty fucking strong. Yeah, it's a very strong guy. It's got, look at the stats there, it's got a lot of bulk. It's got a decent amount of attack, it's got recovery, it's got Salt Cure, so it's not passive, it's got a lot of setup with... It's
got like a Gen 4 stat spread.
Yeah, it does, but it's got a very good stat spread. It's a threat and Trick Room, it's a slowly threat with its setup. There are a lot
of good Gen 4 Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just a lot of good things I can do with this Pokemon. And also, I just like to make it official. Alex Turner and the rest of, the rest of the Arctic Monkeys, I forgive you for the entire album The Car. However, if you release another album this bad, you're officially condemned. I'm just putting that on record. Someone sent it to them.
Garganacl.
Yeah, I will. Because The Car is an unforgivably bad album from a band who was better than it.
Yeah, was.
Yeah, was.
I don't know. As Jay-Z once said, if you prefer my old shit, go listen to my old shit.
I do listen to the old shit. I was listening to it on my big drive today, and every time me and the friend got to a song from the album The Car, you skipped it, and you could tell because those were the bad ones.
Why are you playing a list that included the songs from the album?
Because there's no just easy Spotify playlist that had no The Car. So,
you're using Spotify non-premium instead of using
I was using
Music.
I was using a premium Spotify.
You're using a premium account?
Yeah.
Dude, just like click. I use YouTube.
I got
YouTube
it for free.
Music,
I'm on a free trial.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but can you not just like click the albums that you like?
Yeah, but we were driving. We had to just we just picked all
Both
the
of
music.
you were driving?
No, but we just picked all the music and we played, and then it was on shuffle, and we would just skip The Car. Anyway,
Was it easier?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you not have to skip more songs?
Yeah.
Like, had to do more manual input skipping songs than just putting the music you wanted to listen to on?
There's not that many songs in The Car. There's a lot of albums.
So just for context, I am imitating and using Keith as an example of what a Pokemon acts like after being hit by Soul Cure.
Yeah, it just gets ground down.
They get worn down.
Yeah. Salt Q is really fucking strong. I don't know, this is a Pokemon that's pretty good in regular VGC, you know? So
Yeah.
low tier, it's gotta be pretty fucking
This is National
good.
Dex low tier, we forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, this is Nat Dex, so...
Because the Western Australian Banking Group is focused on Western Australia, but we're willing to help into clientele from all around the country, as well as foreign investors.
Speaking of foreign investors, Mr. Mime, Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance. Yeah, the French Pokemon, apparently, according to Pokemon Go.
He's a mime.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we've got...
It's Monsieur Mime.
Yeah, I picked this Pokemon because it's got all of its moves, so it's got its Generation 3 Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness exclusive move, Follow Me.
Specifically, Shadow Pokemon purified.
Yeah, Shadow Pokemon
like, it's
purified.
not just like you can't just catch a one in XD Gale of Darkness.
Well, you can't catch one in XD Gale of Darkness. The Pokemon there's like 9 Pokemon you can catch in XD Gale of Darkness. The rest are all Shadow Pokemon. Like, the whole region doesn't have wild Pokemon for some fucking reason. It's weird.
It is weird.
Anyway,
we have to purify them.
Yeah. Well, you have to steal them from the evil trainers.
Yeah.
And then you purify them.
Context. What I was trying to say is you can't just like get the shadow one. You have to purify it to get Follow Me.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got Follow Me, and then it's got both. It's got a lot of sort of. Let me try again. It's got a lot of support. So it's got Follow Me, which is like the GOAT support move. It's got Fake Out. It's got Trick Room. It's got dual screens. It's got Wide Guard. Ally
Two Wide Guard
Switch.
Pokemon so far.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
And you also have a Pokemon that's got pretty good special attack stats as well as good stats.
Yeah, and it's actually surprisingly especially bulky. It's also got Filter, which is a decent ability, and Sandproof if I want to pair it with a Boomburst Pokemon. I don't know if I got one, but you know, that's cool. Yeah, it's just a very, very good Pokemon. It's got Stab, Dazzling Gleam as well, so you know, Stab spread moves are just kind of decent.
Yeah,
I
was surprised that you didn't make My Chemical Romance a Steel type Pokemon, because once I had it described to me that My Chemical Romance was a metal band, because people will describe any form of music that involves a percussion instrument as metal.
Electric.
Okay, we'll go with that in the video.
I add it for a reason.
People will just call anything metal, and I hate it, and it makes me want to cry.
Electric. I've got a mission for you. Whoever said that, they called fucking My Chemical Romance metal, I want you to get a gun and shoot them in the back of the head.
I'm not American.
Okay, fine. Get a boomerang and hit them in the back of the neck.
I'm not indigenous, so I don't want to fucking,
Fine. Get a giant spoon and stab them with it.
That's also an American meme.
Fine, a giant knife.
That's not a knife. This isn't a knife.
That's not a knife, that's a spoon.
That's a different meme. I see you've played Knifey Spoony before.
Yeah, he's Australian. Just stab him with a giant fucking spoon. It's very bad.
Check them on the Barbie next to me, Shrimp.
Yeah, no, throw your thong at him. There you go, throw your thong at him.
Americans will think that means something very different. I'll have you know, it's slightly sexier in Australia.
It's a very sexy concept. Let's
pick your thong on the door.
Let's go to pick 3, and that's Tatsugiri. I'm sorry, Tatsugiri is a Storm Drainer, and it was. I think
I'm sorry to hear. It's like, damn. I'm sorry to hear how the homie went. Damn, the homie really went out like that, huh?
What do you mean?
Like Cobain.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? What do I mean?
So Tatsugiri, I just felt like a Storm Trainer would fit this team. And
we had 2 Pokemon that were both immune to spread moves with Wide Guard, so we got a Pokemon that redirects non-spread moves.
Yeah, exactly. See, genius.
This was a card counter to the opposing weakness policy Colossal Aqua Jet strat.
Yep, there you go.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Very strong. No, Tatsugiri is just a strong Pokemon. It doesn't have the most amount of moves, but it's got enough of the amount of moves. It's got, Icy Wind, it's got Stab, Dragon moves, which is really strong in this format, and it's got Muddy Water and just good water moves. So it's a pretty decent Pokemon. And yeah, I just thought that with Garganacl, it was a little water weak, so I just thought, I'd get a Storm Drainer.
It also has Icy Wind.
Yeah, it's got Icy Wind. And yeah, it's just a decent sort of threat in a lot of matchups. I quite like it, and I'm really looking forward to using it because
you got a 4x fighting resist to help deal with Garganacl's fighting weakness.
Yeah.
You've got a 4x water resist / conditional water immunity.
I don't think it's conditional. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'll be running Commander that often.
Spread move.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Conditional. Also, like funny wheezing. But it's a 4x resist even without its ability. We're on Commander anyways. No, and so then that leaves you only with the ground weakness and the grass weakness to cover for. And, luckily there's conveniently 2 types that cover them that together would give you a 4x check to both of those types. So I'm sure that's what you went for next, right? Grass light type?
Yeah, that's definitely what I went for. I totally didn't just go for Copperajah.
I feel like I'm seeing a bit of a pattern in your drafts. They seem to have one thing consistently common. Now, we here at the Single Horn Express, part of the Western Australian banking group, do not discriminate. However, it does seem to me like you maybe have been taking preferential hiring practices because there's a very increased prevalence of, I don't mean to stereotype or cast or anything.
Up to the chase, nerd.
They seem to be from a very particular persuasion. Why exactly is it that you keep just insisting on drafting Copperajah, and only ever Copperajah?
Well, you see,
he's a massive guy. This big, powerful guy. This guy he is a monster. A giant of a man.
One really large person.
I've seen a lot of people over the years. Big people.
I have a friend, big guy, one of the biggest in the world.
This big, strong friend of mine.
Boy, they're big.
Big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy.
He's your big guy in town, folks.
Big guy. Strong, tough. Strong man, big, tough guy.
This is a big, tough guy. A very, very powerful guy. Big, strong guy.
Big, strong guy.
Big, strong guy.
This big, strong guy comes to me.
He's big, he's strong.
Big, strong guy. That's why. Our official spokesperson there, explaining why we always draft Copperajah.
Well,
I'm hitching my wagon.
He sure does seem like the sort of person who would have many dealings with the Western Australian Banking Guild. So I think we'll let this pass.
Make Australian guilds great again. Make Australian guilds awesome. Naga.
Okay. Well, also, we didn't talk about Tame Impala. We also didn't talk much about Nirvana.
I mean, yeah, well, Nirvana's just a classic band that everyone loves. Tame Impala is a fucking great band.
Nirvana's
Listen to their
band,
stuff.
And that the guy from Foo Fighters used to be in.
Yeah.
That's what they're known for.
Yep.
Definitely not the fact that I could still hear you all the way down the coast, I could still hear you singing "Something in the Way" for months after Batman came out.
There's just a lot of really good. There's a lot of really good Nevada songs. And Tame Impala, fantastic music. Really good shit. You know it's
really good.
You know it's good. You know it's a good fucking band who makes great music when the Wiggles make a cover of the song, or make a cover of one of their songs and win like the hottest 100.
Good cover. Why are they not as good as the Wiggles?
They're better than the Wiggles. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I feel like the Wiggles version of the song was a little bit better. I mean, it was on the hottest 100. You know.
I loved fucking. I love Tame Impala. They're great. Give them a listen.
Yeah, but
very neat Australian band. And yeah, do listen to type in like a version Wiggles Tame Impala into YouTube right now. You can pause this video. That's fine. It's a fucking banger from a pretty famous children's entertainment.
It's probably the second most famous Australian band.
The Wiggles, yeah, probably.
Who do you think I think is first?
Akadaka.
I was actually on the fence about whether it be Akadaka or the Bee Gees, so I feel like they're both quite popular. Akadaka first, and then whether it be the Wiggles or the Bee Gees for second.
Regardless, yeah, Copperajah. So Copperajah and VGC, I'm always gonna be a big fan of Copperajah and VGC. It's a really good Trick Room threat with 130 attack. Just makes it really fucking strong. Because this is Natdex, it's got Heat Crash back, and it's got Power Whip back. And that's quite
high
good.
Horsepower.
High Horsepower is also back, so its physical set is back to prominence, but also...
Now it can run Life Orb, Iron Head, Flash Cannon, High Horsepower, Earth Power.
We ran that set once, didn't we? I think we did.
No, it was Assault Vest.
Oh, it was Assault Vest, okay. And it does have, Cheer Force with 80 special attack. It's actually decent if you run a special set, because it's a higher special attack stat than Nidoqueen's. You need to keep...
26.
Yeah, it's actually just strong on both ends because of all of that. It's just a really good Pokemon, and again, 122 HP is just so much HP that if you invest in its middling defenses, it's going to be bulky. It's just such a good Pokemon in so many ways that I just had to draft it because I wanted a good steal, and I got a good steal.
Yeah, if you invest for it, you can generally live most item-boosted, super effective stab moves.
Yeah.
Not multiple hits from it, and not often a decent bit of chip with it, but one, which is pretty useful.
Yeah, you'll revenge. You know? It's just quite good. Next Pokemon we got.
Finally.
We were looking a bit slow, I'll be honest. Our fastest Pokemon was Mr. Mime, so I wanted some speed. So I got Jolteon.
90 speed?
Hayley Williams.
90 speed.
So we were, me and the person on the car trip that I had today, because I had a big car trip today, were blasting Paramore on the way back. It was,
How big was your car trip?
Hours.
Also, is it the person who I think it is?
Probably not.
Okay.
It was 6 hours. But it was 6 hours of driving today. But we were blasting some Paramore for a bit, and it was
I only know
quite great.
3 of your co-workers, so.
Hayley Williams is a fantastic singer, and Jolteon really has a great energy that I think Jolteon really encapsulated. But Jolteon is a strong guy. Not as strong as Copperajah, of course, but just he's a fast guy, and he's pretty strong with his 110 special attack, and Terra really helps Jolteon because now it gets a lot of coverage. Also, because it's Natdex, it does have Weather Ball back, which is cool, so you can do some fun Weather Ball shenanigans. It is an electric immunity, which is neat.
Unfortunately, Synchronoise is banned, so it's not as strong as a tech option against Toxtricity as it classically was.
That is a shame. Yeah, that is a shame, but it'll still be fine. I think it's a very, very good Pokemon.
I just realized Synchronoise and Terra have very funny synergy.
Yeah, it does. There you go.
Because you could
and some
Terra into a fighting
too.
type or a poison type. Well, no, obviously there's the counter to it, but it'd be very funny to Terra into have Jolteon sitting in front of Great Tusk and then Terra into a fighting type to get super effective Synchronoise into it.
Do you think that's one of the reasons why they cut Synchronoise?
They can't synchronize last gen, so
Oh,
no.
I thought they cut synchronized this gen. Never mind then.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
It's
they
quite
cut it
strong.
because they didn't want to give a Mantra Pokemon Max Mindstorm.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It had a really bizarre distribution outside of the evolutions.
But yeah, Jolteon's quite cool. Also, yeah, if you're not a Paramore person, listen to Paramore, you'll become a Paramore person. Banger songs.
I mean, I told you how I was introduced to Paramore.
Yeah, Twilight.
It's a very good song.
Look, it is a good song, and also...
I think I've mentioned to you that I read the books before I saw the movies.
Oh, there you go. But also,
What?
getting them... Off topic, but getting them, like, you know, you got Twilight, and, like, the target audience is, like, you know, not like other girls, right? Like, because there's a lot of them, or, like, you know, sort of edgier girl. Like, I really feel like, Twilight was a lot for not like other girls, you know what I mean?
Oh, not like okay, sorry.
Yeah, and it's like, what better to advertise, to, you know, sort of market that movie than, hey, let's get the king of not like other girls at the time. Fucking Hayley Williams to make a song.
Yeah.
And put it in the movie.
I think Hayley Williams
Perfect
actually.
marketing.
I think that Paramore was one of the bands which specifically like voluntarily made music for it because the first film was very low budget.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the first film is probably the best cinematic experience of the four of them. The first and second
It's
films
the
are very
less
good
bad
music and
one,
good
yeah.
soundtracks. I don't think it's a bad film. I don't think any of them are bad films.
Okay.
You know, like I would say that, you know, Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Eclipse are probably like 5 out of 10 movies. But you know, I'd say one is probably like a 7 out of 10, and New Moon and New Moon and Breaking Dawn Part 2 are probably like 6 out of 10.
I gotta be honest, bro. Like, from my perspective, they're both to TV perps. Edward
what?
and they're both like
DV.
domestic violence perps. Hey, they're fucking creepy and weird, but whatever.
They're domestic violence perps.
Yeah,
I think that they. I mean, like Edward, obviously, like there's definitely discussion of.
there's a lot of emotional
that,
abuse going on. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't think that. Yeah, but like not in a way which is uncritical. Did you know that characters in films are allowed to have flaws? And
Oh yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just weird.
Because they do.
Yeah, they do. That is true. There's a lot of them.
With the magic of parenting, that's like one of the concerning things. It's like the whole thing is like a bit. The last 2 films are just kind of like an anti-abortion thing, or more specifically, the last book is like an anti-abortion thing.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you see these characters who are all flawed and stuff. Watch how they magically overcome all of those flaws by becoming parents.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like okay, like it's really good anti-abortion propaganda, but it is definitely a bit of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about Twilight anymore because it's been way too long. We need to get back onto this. Oh, getting back.
I don't know. I
this,
feel like we can bring it back to Twilight.
the
At least
steal
once.
of the draft. You want to talk about metal? I want to talk about steals, specifically thievery steals. Strudel is 1 point. Steal of the fucking draft. Steal
Sorry,
heist
I
of the
just want to
century.
mention-
Thievery of the millennium.
The Western Australian Banking Guild is not responsible for any pollution or any other externalities caused by its constituent corporations, such as the Single Horn Express.
Yeah, Strudel is just a very
Terms and
good
conditions
Pokemon
on our
Pokemon
website.
point. It's got a lot of cool utility, and it's got prank stuff. So it really shouldn't have been a 1-pointer. So I got it very early because I didn't want other people to get it because
It is 65 attack and gunk shot.
yeah, but yeah, exactly. And then it's got, you know, just a bunch of moves.
It's also
very
like
good.
unreasonably fast for an NFE prankster.
Yeah, no, it is.
Is it like the third fastest prankster mon?
So I know
Fourth, sorry.
Lipard's definitely the fastest.
Whimsicott's the fastest.
Whimsicott,
one, 12.
Lipard. How fast is Cottonee?
Whimsicott, Lipard, Whimsicott, Lipard, Grafii, and then I believe it's True.
How fast is Cottonee?
I believe Cottony is 65.
Okay.
Cottony is 66, sorry, I lied. Purloin, I think, is also 60 odd. Purloin's also exactly 66, and Riolo, I think, is base 70. Riolo's 60. I'm just completely wrong.
And I don't think Ilmuse and Volbeat are fast, so
Are they both 80? Oh no, are they also 70? I think one of them might be. Mise is 85, and Volbeat I think is also 85.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, they're faster. Regardless,
Well,
at one
you know what?
point,
I'm
it's
bad.
unreasonably fast. So, you know, it's just... What are the sort of utility moves it has again? Because I don't have the list right on me at the moment.
Also, Klefki is the same speed as it at 75. I don't have the list in front of me either, but I can pull it up.
Please do.
Well, apparently I cannot. I am just completely failing.
What do I pay you for?
Nothing. You don't pay me.
Yeah,
That's why
because you
I
don't do your
actually
job
get-
correctly.
That's why I keep having to get other people. It gets Potting Shot. Yeah. It gets
that's-
Encore, which is going to win games. It gets Switcheroo, which is funny if you give someone a lagging tail. Gets Toxic.
That's
Honestly, it gets a surprisingly low amount of things.
still pretty
It
good.
gets Flatter. Does it get Swagger? It gets Swagger. Swagger is really good because
Oh.
you can Swagger and Mirror Herb.
Oh, that's broken. Okay.
It also gets Weather.
Yeah, then just like Helping Hand.
Leer is quite good.
Yeah, no, there's some good moves here.
It gets Copycat, which can counter opposing Trick Room.
And Super Fang as well, just to you know, knock 50% off
It
something.
also
You know
gets
what I mean?
Acid Spray too, which is like fake tears on the stick, right?
Yeah.
Well, Acid Spray is also like Super Fang in the sense of it does slightly more than the thing, but it makes them take effectively double damage. The
Yeah.
Super Fang just makes them take double damage.
Yeah. No, it's quite cool. It's quite a good Pokemon. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, I just thought it
A lot
was
of
a great
speed, lot of
game.
utility, and usable bulk. Pretty decent typing as well, though
Yeah.
I think not one that it can necessarily exploit, nor Grafire.
Yeah, and it's Philip Jameson from Grinspoon. Grinspoon's a pretty good Australian band. Check them out.
Grinspoon is the only band that I was introduced through this, though I have heard some of their songs before.
Yeah, you always like that's the thing. Like you think you have, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, you've listened to some Australian radio and marketing. You've heard their songs before. Alrighty.
Alright, and now we get on to the controversial pick of the draft.
Claydol. Chester
No,
Bennington.
Linkin Park.
Park. I've become so numb.
So the Linkin Park is something that I've had someone very passionately tell me was a metal band.
Is it the same guy?
No. These are all different people.
What? Is there something wrong with the drinking water in place where you live?
No, I hear this not just in person, but also over the internet.
Send a bag of hornets to whoever said...
I think the word metal is just one of the worst, one of the worst genre concepts invented in the history of things. Because there are actual metal bands who are good, right?
Yeah.
And then there are bands who are just rock bands, or like emo bands, or like grunge, and then they just get called metal because people are like, well, it's a rock song that is slightly harder than Michael Jackson. Must be metal.
Like, metallic? Like, is it Metallica? Yes or no? If it's yes, you know what? Like, it's
Metallica is a rock band.
yeah.
Now.
Some of the yes,
They used to be. They used
Yeah.
to be a metal band.
yeah. But it's like that's what metal. You know, like the classic Metallica. That's what metal is.
Still a pretty they're not heavy metal by any means.
No, but like well, that's what I mean. They're like, is it harder than what I mean? Like, isn't that's honestly, it's a good. What do you call it? Measuring rod.
Are they making Triple H intros?
So,
Is Lemmy
yeah.
Kilmister and Motorhead? Is Motorhead a metal band?
Yeah, I think Motorhead
That was a
is.
joke. Motorhead is definitely a metal band.
They made a cool. Yeah, no, I think that's what metal is. Don't fucking Linkin Park's not metal. That's cringe. But Claydol, Claydol's an interesting one. So it's got a really good sort of defensive typing for what I wanted. So I wanted another rock resist and a ground immunity, and this is both. I just wanted another Trick Room setter, and that's what this is. Claydol also like it does have it's got some cool.
Do you want to activate
aspects to
those
it.
transactions
Beg your pardon?
we discussed? Do
No,
you
I
want to
haven't
make
yet.
the transactions we discussed?
Not yet. I'll wait.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, I'm not saying that you should immediately. I was just, if we did, we probably should.
Yeah, no. It's also got Ally
We have
Switch,
to call
which
it
is pretty
totally
cool.
metal band.
Do
Do you know how I found Linkin Park?
What?
Well, guess based on the previous way I found a band.
Through some sort of film.
Transformers.
There you go.
Across this great divide.
There you go.
I owned
Across
three of
this
their albums.
divide.
And a bit of commentary that you missed on the previous recording. Keith is a big fan of Numb.
Yeah,
I was always more a fan of Help I'm Having a Stroke.
That's an interesting band. That's an interesting song name. I've never heard
Honestly, it sounds like the name of a Linkin Park song, to be honest.
Yeah, kinda.
Also, this I think is the weakest cover art in the 11 assembled.
I just grabbed a random one.
My Chemical Romance one I think is also pretty weak. I think
Black Parades
this art style really just did not age particularly well.
It's
just
very much a encapsulation of the time. But yeah,
no, they feel like a parody of the rest of the bands in here, in terms of like they have like actual really cool effort based ones, and just like here's like a fake Banksy.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
I want to talk about Claydol because Claydol is okay. It's got.
I wanted to mention the Jay-Z crossover album with Linkin Park.
Okay. I want to mention the fact that it has imprisoned Trick Room and Ally
This was
Switch.
a story I gave. Yeah, it can imprison Ally Switch. That's true. I thought its stabs are pretty good.
Yeah, stabs
if you are in a position with Earthquake, currently you have no ground immunities, but if you consider getting one, you can click Earthquake with it. But other than that, you can still like Earth Power with it, and it's like because of the quality of its stabs, it is difficult to like answer defensively.
Yeah, and again, it just has such a good sort of defensive typing for like ground and rock, which are two very relevant types in low tier VGC, I think.
Love that.
It's also
if
got
you have a different ground immunity to Claydol.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It's got a lot of good coverage as well.
Oh yeah, it's Gen 3 Pokemon. It's got crazy coverage.
Jay-Z Linkin Park album.
It's also got Storm Power, I think. Does it?
May well do. I don't think you'll be getting that much use of it in this series.
No, but it's got stored power, then just a bunch of setup like Calm Mind and all.
I know your grass resists are Copperajah and Shroodle.
Yeah, Shroodle.
Like two big cross weaknesses.
Don't worry. I fixed that a little bit.
Not with the next pick. But yeah, so there's like a Linkin Park, and so my dad had, obviously bought me the 3 previous albums, and I listened to them a lot. My younger sister did as well. We bought the Jay-Z and Linkin Park one, and we started playing it. And then, like, one of the first lines of the first song is, "Got a Frappuccino, got a fucking Frappuccino," and my dad ejected it from his computer and returned it.
That's funny.
You can see why that had to join the video,
Yeah, but let's talk about the next Pokemon we've got. I should say I did originally, so I planned this draft out a bit, like after my 3rd or 4th pick, and this was originally Runa Regis, which I did think fit the team a little better, but I still like the defensive profile that Claydol brings. Anyway, the next pick I picked is also weak to grass, Basculin. Deryck Whibley, Sum 41, fantastic band. Fat Lip is a fucking fantastic song. It's one of the greatest bangers of all time.
I remember when you broke into my house for the purpose of listening to Sum 41.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Also, I mentioned that this was one of my other favorite cover arts as well.
I break into people's houses all the time. I'm on a lot of criminal. I've got a lot of criminal history of just breaking and entering. Nothing else.
Is that
in too deep and over my head. Better off. But yeah, Fat Lip's the big one. Fat Lip's just. Oh, there's just so many good songs. Yeah. Hell World. I just want to listen to somebody.
His profession is he's actually the guy who breaks into people's houses and leaves the "We wanted to wish you about your extended warranty" notes everywhere.
Yeah. But Basculin is a Pokemon that I think is slept on majorly both in singles and in doubles. I fucking love Basculin, and I fucking love it in Gen 9. With Terra, this thing is stupid. It's Stab Head Smash, it's got adaptability, it's basically, it fucking hits like a truck, it's got a decent amount of speed. I really like this Pokemon.
I remember we stabbed Terra Blast flying.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, it turns out with Terra and the adaptability, you just hit everything for 1,000,000 damage. It's a very good Pokemon. Yeah.
Adaptability into your existing stab type with Terra is very, very low power, but intentionally.
Yeah. So...
Because it goes... So regular stab is 1.5x, and then adaptability changes that 1.5x into a 2x. Terra also changes it into a 2x, which is a 1.33x boost from stab. And then regular Terra turns it into a 2.25x boost, which is a 1.1% damage boost. That is to say, is the same as using Wise Glasses or Muscle Band.
Yeah. So you don't tear it water that much, but you can tear it basically every other type, and it just fucking pumps out.
Well, you can Terra water if you were running, what's it called? Mold Breaker.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true. But adaptability is where it really gets its power from, and I think it's really going to be strong. I do like pairing it up with,
You can use Terra Water Mold Breaker to not get redirected by your own Tatsugiri.
Yeah, or I could just click Surf when I've got Tatsugiri next to me, and then give Tatsugiri a special attack increase.
Speaking of 80 special attack Pokemon.
But, yeah, speaking of 80... we going to the next one?
No, the next one isn't, but I meant that, like, Copperajah also is.
Yeah, but much like Copperajah, it's got an ability that means that 80 special attack is a lot higher than it actually looks like.
Yes.
Yeah, like...
The boosting ability is good. I think we've said that before.
Yeah.
It's actually got a higher special attack than Claydol, which is a Pokemon that I think people tend to think of as a special attack because most of its coverage is special.
Yeah. But, next... Although, yeah, and again, Terra Rock Head Smash broken. But...
Just, don't bring rock resists, we promise.
Yeah. But,
There's no rock type on this team. There's certainly not 2 rock types on this team.
The next Pokemon is Charizard.
The Grass Resist.
Which is, the Grass Resist. It's also Charizard. And we need a Charizard because every draft and game and anything relating to Pokemon needs at least one Charizard, possibly 15.
Charizard. I ever tell you how I found the Offspring?
Yeah.
I did last time we recorded this video.
Okay.
Batman Forever, the one with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's right.
Soundtrack to that, yeah.
That's cool. My favorite Offspring song is "Pretty Fly for a White Guy" because
wow, you're real different and original with that one. Did you find that one in the original Offspring songs that most other people don't like?
Yeah, it's a little underground gem.
I mean, and I thought "Come Out and Play" was, or like, why don't you get a job? Or we're like, no. You don't
how dare I?
You didn't even go original Plankster.
Quick question.
How dare you like the popular one? That is illegal.
How dare I like the song that most other people like? I should just like the one no one fucking likes. Yeah, so Charizard is a strong guy.
I don't even know if they have. Do they have an equivalent of the Drive or whatever the car, whatever you said, the one you didn't like?
Not really. Like the music's changing, but it's not like garbage.
I mean, the music changes all the time.
Yeah,
I feel like every album is like a distinct stage in their.
It's not like Arctic Monkeys
process.
where they just went from like a sort of kind of fast tempo, like band with a lot of personality, to just like the most boring sub Angus and Julius Stone garbage, like I'm strumming a guitar slowly while I say lyrics that sound like they mean something but actually don't, and just there's no energy and there's no life and there's no nothing, and he is just kind of whispering a lot, and it's awful. Like that's just flicked. Just something in the art, they're like, no, let's not be good anymore. Let's just push out really bad versions.
It was an active decision.
Yeah, they're just like, let's be bad.
It was
now.
actually a commentary. It was like Metal Gear Solid 2. It was actually a commentary on why the music industry and music consumers are bad, not just a bad release.
Yeah, same with Danganronpa V3, bro.
Doesn't make sense. You think V3 was the V3 is like, okay, I have problems with V3, right? But V3 is not like. I mean, V3 kind of.
I mean, no, V3 does.
I feel like it's very hard
to be fair. V3 does have that message.
It has that explicit meta message. But is it also bad?
No, it's actually pretty good. I quite like it, but regardless, I don't like.
I have to say, so like in Danganronpa 1, right? I hadn't predicted like all of the killings and the thing, like I actually like learned things through doing like the hunting, the finding clues, whatever that's called. you know, in Danganronpa 2, it's like, okay, well, you know, the only one that didn't make sense is the one that actually they changed last minute, and it just isn't a murder weapon. You know, it just doesn't actually, there isn't actually a solution to. Like, it was all pretty straightforward. And then, like, in V3, it's all so obvious, painfully obvious all of the time. And then the character is just incredibly thick the whole time, and you just have to sit there as all of the things that you figure out, and I feel like half the time the character said out loud when they discovered the clues in the first place, you have to slowly trod through. So in that way, I did think V3 was a bit painful.
I quite like,
but I thought the ending was alright.
I think the end there was, I mean, I think the thing that really makes me really like V3 is
most of the murder trials kind of sucked.
I mean, I really fell for the fourth one. That one got me. I'm not going to talk about. Is
the fourth one the one I'm thinking of?
Probably.
Was it the Who Is It one?
No.
Or was it the gamer one?
Yeah, the virtual.
Oh no,
one.
The fourth.
The virtual
that
world
one was so weak.
I fucking love that
like
one.
The one where I'm like, man, that was.
Okay.
I sat
Spoilers for Danganronpa V3.
Is there going to be something?
Spoilers for Danganronpa V3.
No, we don't need to spoil or anything.
Okay.
The whole time I was like, is there going to be something unexpected? Is there going to be something that's tricky? Or is Shuichi just incredibly stupid and just saying things that we figured out that he already said out loud when we were actually doing the investigation? And the answer was,
what?
No, there was no twist. There was nothing interesting. No, everything that we learned during the investigation
is literally
was exactly
they tell you what it is. No, I loved it because it was like they told you what it was like 5 minutes into it, and it was basically the rest of the characters coping about, no, it can't be this, it can't be that, it can't be that. Like, it was them being stupid because they didn't want to fucking believe what was happening, like what they were told was happening, but they just kept fucking going through it and going like, fuck. No, maybe that. No, the characters were literally grasping onto fucking strings. So of course they were repeating shit because they didn't want it to be true.
I feel like that happened in the last like 5 minutes of the thing, but the thing was like 30 minutes long. And the first 20 minutes of it was painful, and then the last bit was like character stuff, and the character stuff was good, but that was after.
The character stuff was fantastic, and maybe I just misremember it, but I really the character stuff
like
just
the mystery
when the mystery is solved, and they're just going no,
so much weaker in 2 and 3.
Possibly,
in 2 and V3.
Yeah, I just
probably partly because the mystery was exposed in the first one, but like I feel like they could have done interesting things a lot more often, and then they. To be honest, I think 4 is probably the best one of them. I think the second one is the weakest by a long shot. The second one is so uninteresting. I don't even remember the name of the 2 characters, despite the fact that I know which anime characters they're both homages to. Like, it's like both of these were characters I was familiar with before the thing, and I still cannot remember anything besides the fucking jokes. That's like Tennis Guy.
The problem with V3...
To not spoil the other thing.
No, Tennis Guy was in V3. So, the problem with V3 is that, like...
The second one was Tennis Guy.
No, the short Tennis Guy was in V3.
The first one was Survivor Guy, the second one was Tennis Guy.
Okay, whatever.
It's the victim.
Oh, gotcha, yep. Sorry. I'm cutting that out because that's a bit spoilery. But, what I'm trying to say is, I
don't think the victims are spoilers.
Yeah, sure. But whatever, regardless.
That's why I said the victim.
The problem with V3's theme is that, like, you don't know when the theme starts and ends, I guess, you know? Like, whatever. I'll eventually make a big video about V3. Because I do want to make a big video about Danganronpa V3.
Will you? Okay.
Yeah, because...
I feel like you should include interview segments with other people, including me.
Yeah. No, the thing is, I want to make one, because Danganronpa V3, I hated the ending at first, and now it's my favourite ending.
I quite like the ending, mostly because I really disliked the ending in 1 and 2. I thought the endings in 1 and 2 were not very good.
I hated the ending and now I love it. So now it's like...
The ending in 2 was so shit. I think aggressively bad.
I need to replay V3, and I need to figure out what it was about the ending that I hated and now I like.
Is all of the characters I didn't like were still alive, and they killed most of the characters I liked.
Yeah, I mean, it does make the end of 2 depressing.
That is kind of like a structural problem with 2, is that so many of the characters in 2 are just terrible. Fucking Pepsi Man and the Princess and the Fry Cook.
I like the Pepsi Man, but
You like the Pepsi Man?
I
He
don't
spends
actually
the
like
entire
Pepsi Man.
time.
No, you're right. I don't like Pepsi Man. I like the Princess.
I like Pepsi Man. The like actually no.
Princess.
She is the
she's
worst.
Okay.
And Pepsi Man is worse for his infatuation with her. And even the best character, Gundam Tanaka, is worse.
Let me talk
for their
about
relationship.
Gundam. Fucking
No. We should save that at least till the next Pokemon. We should probably get a bit more commentary.
Yeah,
so now you know why we had Trudel, because you can click Rain Dance and Hurricane and Weather Ball, which is the main thing that Charizard likes.
Or Sunny Day and then just nuke everything.
No. Rain Dance, Weather Ball.
Yeah.
Charizard.
Charizard's a great Pokemon.
No one would ever click Electric Move into Charizard.
We've got 2 Wide Guarders as well that are both very good. So like, if people try to use Rock Slides to just kill it, we can block that.
Oh, we have 3.
3?
Or is Claydol not good? Does Claydol not get White Guard?
I don't remember. Yeah, I just thought that was good. Let's not talk about Danganronpa. I'll make a big video on all the Danganronpas one day. This is cool.
Okay, starting with the prequel, right? I suppose in the order, right? It's the fucking past, whatever they call it, of 3, and then it's.
I'm not doing.
Then it's 1.
I'm not doing.
And it's.
I'm not doing the shit.
Did you wind up finishing UDG?
I think so. I'm not doing the shit ass anime. I'm not doing the shit ass anime. Like you can't.
Okay, so what about Killer Killer?
I just don't. Okay, whatever. We got to Hoppip, Billie Armstrong, Green Day. Hoppip.
Yeah. So speaking of bad bands. I think the only reason that I haven't heard someone call Green Day a metal band is because they just fell off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, they did.
And it was like before we were born almost.
Like American Idiot is like definitely against the grain, but it was still an okay album. 21 Guns was just like
I feel like
the toilet.
Emerald really was just the last good album they had, which was after we were born, to be fair.
Yeah.
But God, American Idiot. I mean, against the grain. If the grain means being good.
You say that, there's a lot.
American Idiot has so many of like the fucking.
Yeah, again, we go back to a lot of people listen to. You know, like I don't know if you can necessarily call an album bad if it's that popular. But
yes, you can. Trust me, you definitely.
21 Guns.
I mean, I've heard plenty of people criticize other good things. I just really am not a big fan of Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It's just not good. Dude, they did so many songs on that album, which were like 6-7 minutes long, and then they didn't do anything with the time. Sorry, 6 to 9 minutes long. I'm double checking my thing.
But yeah, Hoppip is a 1-pointer, and it's the GOAT 1-pointer because
American Idiot is the only song on that album under 3 minutes.
Oh, there you go. Do you want to be?
Yeah, and I hate Wake Me Up When September Ends as well. I mean, I don't hate it, but I get very annoyed by hearing it. Like people like wake me up. Oh no, don't wake me up inside. Don't wake me up when you go. No, wake me up when September ends, because I'm not like other guys.
Good old effervescence. Yeah, so Hoppip has the GOAT support. So let me tell you what Hoppip has for non-believers.
Hoppip has the things that Charizard has, and the things that Mr. Mime has, and the things that Mr. Mime has, but more accurate.
So it's got Rage Powder, it's got Sleep Powder, it's got Tailwind, it's got Memento,
Charizard.
it's got
Mr. Mime.
It's got the dual screens with everything else. It's got Pollen Puff.
Honestly, it wouldn't be shocked if Mr. Mime did.
Look, it might be a bit overlap, but for 1 point, it's actually got a really good grab bag of support moves.
Yes, it is insane for 1 point.
Yeah, which I'm pretty.
I thought it was insane for 4 points.
Yeah, it's a very very good Pokemon.
If you invest it, can live like basically any neutral stab special attack.
Yeah.
I had this with Covert Cloak, mind you, not Eviolite. Live a Moonblast from Fluttermane.
Skiploom.
You can do whatever the fuck you want with Hoppip.
Hoppip, Skiploom, and Jumpler. Those 3 are goats this gen. Like, they are so good.
The fact that they gave them Tailwind, I think, really elevated them, because they had very good traits, but the traits were very exploitable, and now you have a lot more of a mix-up and a lot more flexibility. They're a lot less, like, you feel a lot less like you need to bring them on the bench just because leave them on the bench just because your opponent brought a safety goggles mon that was particularly good.
Yeah.
And 1 point forcing safety goggles is not exactly bad. But does it pull safety goggles when Mr. Mime provides a lot of the same support?
Yeah.
That is the question.
Nice.
So yeah, ultimately,
Yeah. And then
Green Day just makes me sad.
Our next Pokemon was
Green
Marini.
Day was in Transformers. I did not find out about Green Day from Transformers.
It's Marini, Dylan Frost, because Dylan Frost has the big hair. Sticky Fingers, very good Australian band. Give them a listen. And listen to them before Dylan Frost's rampant drug use fucks his voice up irredeemably, because they are loose fucking units.
Wasn't Billy Armstrong that guy who treated on like he had cancer, testicular cancer, and then he cheated on the Tour de France by doping, and then he got fired from his own foundation?
That was Lance Armstrong.
Oh, well, wasn't he that pianist who was like very good?
No, he was the guy who landed on the moon first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dylan
wasn't he the strong arm alchemist?
I would definitely recommend listening to some Sticky Fingers. They've got a wide range of music. They're pretty cool. Marini just kind of has Toxic Spikes and Wide Guard and Haze, which is kind of why I drafted it, really.
I feel like you need to
but
admit that you're biased.
Why?
You should pro all of the Australian bands.
I'm trying to spread some words, some seeds.
And I've yet to hear you talk about any of the lovely bands grown out of the Western Australian Banking Guild's main subsidiary area, Western Australia. When you're going to get a lovely team out of Broome?
The Democratic People's Republic of Australia can, bite me. Yeah. No, Marini's just a 1 point filler, but it's got Toxic Spikes.
Wide Guard! Because you didn't have any Pokemon with Wide Guard.
Yeah, but it's got Toxic Spikes, which is actually
because you didn't have any Pokemon.
Which is actually pretty good.
You didn't have any Toxic Spikes.
Yeah, I didn't. It's actually pretty
good. If someone told me Garganacl or Toxic Spikes, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, it's pretty good for Garg because Garg can play really long games, and you can actually set T-Spikes in some matches that'll just help Garg last forever. It's just
it can help you beat the COVID float guy.
Yeah, and it's got Haze as well for I don't know if there's any major gross setup Pokemon at this point, but
I feel like there probably are.
Yeah, so
there's every Shell Smasher is legal.
Yeah, it's actually
not Mega Blastoise or regular Blastoise, but Wartortle's legal.
It can come to a lot of games. It can come to a decent amount of games. Just with
I don't know. I feel like it will probably be on the bench, but on the games it comes, it will do things.
Yeah. And then our last pick. Wait, was that our last pick? That was our last pick.
That was our last pick.
Well, yeah,
our last pick was a picture of all of the team, and now I want you to recite their nicknames in draft order.
Okay, so we have.
Well, you did this last time, so you should be able to remember.
Yeah, so
no, you're cheating. I know that you're cheating. I know that you're cheating. You could have at least done it on your phone or something.
We've got Kevin Parker. We've got Hayley Williams. We've got Philip Jefferson.
Okay, everyone, leave a comment on this video rating him for cheating.
Deryck Whibley. We've got Dexter Holland. We've got Billie Armstrong. We've got Dylan Frost.
Wasn't that the guy who landed on the moon?
That was Lance. Okay, there we go. That's the team. It's going to be interesting. There's some flaws, and I will be
wasn't Holland that country?
There will be a change.
Wasn't Holland that country that really likes tulips?
Sure. There will be a change or two that is going to be made to this team because there's one major flaw, that I didn't realize until I
comment down below. Wait, comment down below what you think the major flaw is. We will not cover in specific what it is, but the first commenter who is not me or the other or Keith will get
your comment deleted cookie. Because I don't want anyone to know.
Comment pinned. Yeah, we don't want anyone to know.
Okay. Exactly. So remember, everyone. Like, subscribe, validate my existence, give me some existential reason to live. Send this video to your local councilman or government representative. And if this fucking video didn't record, I'm gonna shoot my computer. Peace.